The stories you are about to watch have been witnessed by countless individuals from all walks of life. It is our purpose to present these accounts without bias. It's up to you to determine what is fact, what is legend, or what is imagination. Ringwood Manor, once home to some of the nation's most wealthy and influential, is now a museum. What hollow souls inhabit these corridors? Why are so many attracted to the manor? Who were the original occupants? And why do some say they are still here?
It was not of human color.
The hair on the back of my head lifted up.
That night I went home and had the worst dream of my life. Woke up screaming.
The gentle streams, woodland trails, and abundant supply of raw materials in Ringwood, New Jersey played an important role in carving this nation's history. Rich in iron ore, this area of the highlands was originally mined by colonial prospectors since the 1740s.
Ringwood iron attracted many entrepreneurs over the years. In fact, Ringwood iron was used for 250 years. And it was used for every major war, from the French and Indian War all the way up to 1957 when the mines were closed.
However, iron would not be the only contribution that Ringwood would make for this country. 1771 saw the arrival of Robert Erskine, who was originally sent to manage the three principal iron-making plantations on the property, and would later become this country's first Surveyor General.
The contribution of Ringwood is in the form of Erskine maps. They were very accurate, and Mr. Erskine's maps gave Mr. Washington a correct vision of the lay of the land. You had to have a good idea of the terrain you were going over because of the placement of troops. And on many occasions, they saved Mr. Washington's life.
To this day, he is buried in the graveyard underneath the monument that marks his tomb. Many prominent barons of business with strong political ties have graced these halls throughout its almost 200 years.
Martin Ryerson bought the property in 1807 because of the location of the iron ore that was located in the region, and then began to build the manor.
The estate changed ownership once again when it was sold to Peter Cooper, an inventor and industrialist from New York, and his son-in-law Abram S. Hewitt in 1854. Although purchased for its rich iron deposits, Mr. Hewitt and his wife Sarah, who fell in love with its picturesque landscape, decided to turn it into their summer home.
Sarah, the wife of Abram Hewitt, loved the property and added on to the manor and decorated in the style that we find it in at this time.
In 1936, the Hewitt family donated the manor to the state of New Jersey. 66 years later, some say they still haven't left. The National Park Service itself has been very interested in the ghostly happenings at the manor.
One of the Park Service employees, the chief curator of the National Park Service, the late Harold Peterson, was so concerned about the paranormal manifestations that for more than 5 years he wrote to the curator of Ringwood Manor, begging, pleading for any information from the curator about his experiences with the paranormal manifestations at the manor.
We had a correspondence until he died, and he always was asking Well, what about the paranormal at Ringwood Manor?
He went over and over again, asking Bert, letter after letter, for more than 5 years, if he had had any experiences of his own to report.
He was always urging me to consider the fact or the possibility that we had the paranormal here. And of course, since then, he's proven right.
But Harold Peterson isn't the only one with reason to believe in the manor's unnatural occurrences. When we come back, Bert has an eerie encounter that turns him into a believer.